Yeah, you wanted the hottest podcast in the land. You got the hottest podcast in the land.
The Turnpike Brothers.
Woo! So we're going to see Kiss tonight, right? The end of the road tour.
Yes, in New York.
The first of the two shows in MSG where they're ending it.
Yeah, never been. Should be awesome.
Yeah. So they did a New York City takeover for the whole week, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. They did like a pizza at like a pizza place. You can get your face painted at like some like tattoo place. Some of the newsstands, the taxis, they dressed up as Kiss apparently. You get to see some Kiss taxis.
The newsstand takeovers.
Yep. Pop-up store.
Pop-up store, which
we're going to visit.
Yeah.
And we'll take some pictures and put it up for everyone to see.
Put some pictures up, and then we'll have a video later of us looking at some Kiss merch. It's going to be pretty cool. Probably buy some here, too. So
yeah.
We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah. Rock on.
Turnpike Brothers! Turnpike Brothers! Turnpike Brothers! Turnpike Brothers!
Ready to see Kiss?
Yeah, man.
You ready to rock?
Hell yeah. Oh, wait, this one. Hell yeah.
You got it. What about you, Bob? All right, Kevin. Kevin, you know what this spot is right here?
What's the spot?
This is where Paul Stanley kicked out Ace Frehley from the band.
Wow.
This exact spot right here. Right there. He put his cigarette out right there. That's why there's a garbage can there, yep. All right, Kevin.
Yep.
So you know what this spot is right here?
This is where Paul ordered a Choco Mocha bullshit yesterday.
No, this is where Gene Simmons kicked out Peter Criss from the band.
Oh, okay.
He did it, and then he got himself an espresso.
And he said, "Me at Starbucks."
Yep.
Okay, here we are. Everyone just saw us pre-Kiss concert.
Yeah, we were amped up, ready to go.
Yep. Now here we are post Kiss concert. Now we've been teasing this podcast for quite a while, for like months, right? Because we've known we're going to be going to this concert for a while.
Yeah, we bought the tickets like a year ago. So
almost. Yeah, it seemed like it. It seemed like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been teasing that we might be a special podcast coming, and it's so special that we're doing it. One of our special ones in person here.
Yeah, because we were going to do like a whole podcast thing, but you need to see visuals.
Yes.
This is all about visuals.
Yeah, visuals.
Yeah.
Like these cool shirts.
Yes.
Right, with the Japanese writing on it.
Yeah, because, Kiss, we saw them in Tokyo, so.
Yeah. Paul Stanley over here is
MSG Tokyo.
holding his chest hair.
Yeah. All kinds of cool stuff.
All kinds of cool stuff going on here.
I don't know
End
what
of the
it
Road
says.
tour, that's what it was called.
I don't know what it says on here, but probably something awesome.
It says
Kiss.
It says Turnpike Brothers
Turnpike
are
Brothers.
my favorite podcast.
That's what it says.
Yeah. Because like we said before, hottest podcast in the land.
Yeah, just like the hottest band.
So we're going to talk about the concert, among other things, which is Kiss in general, pretty much.
Yeah. And what do you think of when you think of Kiss? Merchandise.
Money. Oh, yeah. That too.
They're all about
I guess
their
that
merch.
leads to money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're definitely the band with the biggest merch. Mm-hmm. So we're going to split this podcast up into 4 parts. Each part we're going to talk about parts of the concert.
Yeah, different sections.
Right, so we're not just going to throw the whole concert at you at once, right? We're going to kind
spread it out.
Do different topics in general of Kiss and then go into the concert a little bit with our thoughts and experience.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to be talking about is clothing / Christmas, because it is tis the season.
Tis the season, and Kiss is all about Christmas.
A lot of merch gets sold on Christmas, so yeah, they probably are.
Yeah, they are. All right, let's do it. Let's check it out.
Cool. Okay, so first topic is clothing.
Kiss has got a lot of clothing.
Well, as we're going to go through all these categories, so these 4 parts that we're doing, they have a lot of everything.
They're not sellouts, though. So.
No, unfortunately, we don't have the Kiss coffin to show.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Okay, so first shirt we have here. Well, I guess the first ones is what we showed before, right?
Yeah.
Our ones we're wearing. You got your end of the tour.
Yeah, on the back
End
of
of the
it
road tour.
has these cool...
Yep. All the where they played.
Yep.
All over the world.
Yep.
And the country. Mine's just got this cool. This is from like the Elder era. This is like probably like 1981 era when Paul Stanley had no nose. No, I'm just kidding.
Nose.
But he lost. He started wearing a purple.
Lots of chest hair.
Lots of chest hair. He always had that. But this is like 81 chest hair. I could tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have any gray in there.
Yeah. And he's got the purple headband. He rolled that out like early 80s. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty epic shirt. You got that from the
From the official. This is official. This is not bootleg. I swear. This is the official Kiss store. When I saw it, I had to buy it. I had to have it. I had to have it.
Got to have it.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, you got another end of the road tour shirt.
Yeah,
This one's pretty badass. You got the 4 guys on the front, and it's got Madison Square Garden, which is where we saw them.
Yeah.
So this is like the specific. One you're wearing is kind of like the whole tour.
Yeah.
This is the very specific MSG one. So obviously they probably made one for every stadium.
Yeah, has
so
the
that's
whole stadium
really
back there.
pretty awesome. We went to the December 1st show. They did 2 shows there to end because obviously they're from New York. If you weren't aware, but that is where they came from, New York. So that's where they ended. And then it's kind of them like screaming on the back and rocking out.
Yeah, Gene Simmons looks pretty awesome.
He does. He looks very demon-y.
Yeah, they all got like white eyes in it too, which is really cool.
Pretty cool. And I'm talking here like everyone knows Kiss, but I guess we should kind of explain a little bit. So Kiss is 4 characters. You have the Demon.
The Demon.
You have the Spaceman, which is over here. You have the Starman, which is obviously the guy with the star on his right eye. And you have the Catman.
Catman.
Now the members have changed for the Catman and the Spaceman, but they've kept the characters. Now they have had some miscellaneous other characters over the years too, but this is the 4 main ones. And so obviously the 2 creators of the band, 2 of the 4 creators of the band, which is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, and then right now you have Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. Are the respective guitarists and drummers, but it used to be Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. So that's the first shirt. Pretty badass there. What we got here, Dan?
All right, so if you guys watched our other YouTube video, you would have saw me rocking this apron when I was making our Gordon Ramsay meals.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean every Kiss fan's got to have a Kiss apron. It says Kiss the Cook, of course. Gene's got his famous long tongue. He's always sticking out and doing crazy stuff with. And then we have a concert worn shirt by me. When we went to the concert, this is what I rocked out.
You went to that one, right? 1979?
Yep, and on the back of it has the crew. I was on the crew.
You were on the crew,
in
wow.
1979, so pretty cool. This shirt has seen a lot of concerts and stuff like that. I usually wear this one.
I got the same shirt.
You got the same shirt.
So I have the same shirt, and I wore it as well, but not this one.
Yeah, at the beginning of the video,
one.
you saw us both twinning.
Turnpike Brothers.
And on our way to merch that I didn't rock out, but my wife did, Elena.
Yep. You might see you might catch a glimpse of it in the video.
In the beginning part of our video, you might see her wearing this. Awesome Kiss. What's the brand that this usually is?
It's like Loungefly-esque. Yeah, like Loungefly usually makes these like licensed kind of like mini backpacks, I think they call them.
Yeah, it's got the logo all over it. It's official Kiss.
This is official Kiss. So I don't think it's Loungefly, but it's obviously modeled after that.
Yeah.
That style.
A little book bag, pretty awesome.
Kiss isn't going to give them money to do that. They're just going to do it themselves. So.
Of course. And then I got this awesome sweater from the concert because, I got to spend all my money at the Kiss concert.
Oh, you have to. It's the end of the road.
End of the road. They're not doing it anymore. So we got this one here. Paul Stanley's giving his O face right there.
He is. Yep.
Got Gene licking the guitar.
Yeah.
And you got the concert dates on the bottom there.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. And then what I like about it is a zip-up hoodie.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. And you also have some stuff on the sleeves here. This is like...
You wanted the best. You got the best. Yep.
Yep. And then...
The hottest band in the land.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of stuff on it. It's got like a little logo in the front. I'll probably rock it out later on in the video. It's got a little
Costume
logo in the
change.
front. Yeah, right?
I got a pullover hoodie. I forgot to bring it for the video, but I got a pullover hoodie, basically kind of same end of the road tour. So
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty, like a skull, right?
Yeah, it's got the Statue of Liberty, and then and it's like got like a skull that has like the Statue of Liberty's like crown on it for New York.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
awesome.
it's specific to New York, which is cool too.
Yeah. If it was a zip-up, I would have got it. I love zip-up hoodies. So
Yeah,
that's my favorite, that one.
I both, but I am more of an over the head pullover, as they say.
Of course, Kiss is extremely patriotic.
Of course, Gene Simmons loves America.
Like one of my favorite Kiss songs, I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll. We got this here. I always wear this on 4th of July. My Kiss wardrobe I have. It was pretty cool. We got all the new Kiss members in this too, so not like the old school guys.
Whereas the 1979 one is rocking the original Ace Frehley, Peter Criss guys.
Yeah.
Now, tell your funny story about the Pledge of Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll
So we went to Kiss Mini Golf
in Vegas.
It's pretty cool. They have like a whole shop in there, and they have what they call a Kiss museum. They also have a Kiss chapel, so you can actually get married there. They have a Gene Simmons impersonator come, and he'll actually
It's awesome.
do the whole ceremony. It's awesome.
Are we sure it's an impersonator?
Yeah, it could be actually him. He just goes there every so often, doesn't. So we're there. Person go around. They have a DJ. Of course, they're playing all the Kiss music. This girl comes up to us and she's like, "Oh, what song would you like us to request? We're doing requests."
Right.
And for some reason, my mind went blank. I couldn't think of any Kiss songs, even though I know a million of them. I said, "Pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll," and she said, "What'd she say?"
She said, "Is that actually a real song?" Because she did not believe it. It's from the Psycho Circus album.
From
which is one
Psycho
of your
Circus,
favorites.
one of my favorite albums.
But I know that me, Turnpike sisters Elena and Melissa were all pretty flabbergasted as well. Like, what? Did he just make this up? Because we were all requesting like Strutter and like I don't know, I forget exactly, Made for Loving You and some of their big hits, and you came out with like a deep cut.
I know, deep cut.
And this girl works at the Monster, and I literally asked if this was a real song.
The Monster Mini Golf, yeah. And she was like, and funny enough,
Don't fire her when you guys watch this video, Paul and Gene, please. I don't want her to lose her job.
she did redeem herself, and she did play it.
Yeah, she found
and it was epic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
It's a great song. It's just not a very well known song.
No, they didn't play it at this concert, unfortunately.
No. No, they did not.
So what else we got here, Kevin?
So now we're moving on to some. Well, we still got some clothing, I guess.
Yeah, so this
We got the Kiss, your official Kiss Army belt.
Yeah, I'm part of the Kiss Army, so
Yeah.
you need not officially, but I am part of the Kiss Army at heart.
Well, where did you get this? How did you get the belt buckle?
I had to. I don't know. I've had it forever.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you like signed up for the Kiss Army and got it.
Oh no. But yeah, I did rock that at the concert though. You see the
You
video
did.
in the early video. I had it
Pretty badass.
rocked out. So
Then we have Concert Worn
concert
by
worn.
Elena socks.
Yeah.
It's got all of them on it, which is pretty awesome socks. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Spaceman and Catman get kind of covered by the shoes if you're wearing like shoes.
Yeah. Well, if you're like a real Kiss fan, you're not wearing shoes anyway. Well, unless you're wearing giant boots. So
Right, then they kind of all get covered.
Yeah.
But, it kind of makes sense that Gene and Paul would cover those two guys.
Gene's got the
With
little
shoes.
blood sticking out of his mouth too, which is cool.
He does. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, those are sweet. Now we can move to the Christmas stuff.
Yeah, Kiss is all about Christmas.
You gotta. They are. They did save Santa,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, Family Guy.
Yeah,
They saved Santa.
They did save Santa. So looks like we got a pair of Gene's boots. As
Yeah.
a Christmas ornament kind of thing.
Yeah, they all have their distinctive boots too, so you gotta know.
They do.
those-
I mean,
those are
every
Gene's.
aspect of them is distinctive
Yeah.
to them. All from the mask. I mean, the makeup down to the boots, which is pretty amazing that they came up with all this, like to be so individual, but at the same time, like together.
Yeah,
You know?
cohesive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. He's just a good word. So you got Gene's cool boots. They're the Demons' cool boots.
Yeah.
You got Paul Stanley himself doing
Yeah.
a weird cross-leg thing here. I guess he's like
He's a star man. He's
like
I don't know.
he's like dancing. He's doing the gritty or whatever they call it.
The gritty,
Yeah,
yeah. You got Gene here. He's doing his patented devil horns he does, where he
Yes.
goes like that.
Yes.
So he's rocking now. He's
Got
trying.
the thumb sticking out.
He was trying to trademark that, but I don't think it worked.
Especially since it's like sign language.
He's not really rocking the those kind of boots here.
Yeah,
though,
they
so.
kind of, well, you know, he got different ones.
Yeah, he does have a bunch of different outfits.
I think early on he did kind of rock, and I think as like later on, as they got like a little bit bigger, he kind of like upgraded his boots.
Yeah, but he's got his little bat wings because
Yep.
he's the demon.
He's a demon, yeah. So he's got his like devil wings. He was always like, most people kind of pick him as like their coolest character, which he is with the cool makeup, just the blood, which is awesome.
he does a lot of awesome stuff.
I always really liked like the Starman. I know it's like
Okay.
kind of simple and basic, but
If we're talking about overall design, I kind of like the Space Ace.
A lot of people like Space Ace too. Yeah. He's got
Yeah.
the cool
Yeah.
silver makeup and everything like that.
Ace Frehley for the look, he was the coolest. He's not my favorite Kiss member,
Right.
but he is awesome. I do like Ace Frehley. I like all of them. They're all
Yeah,
awesome.
but I always like that simple Starman. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just like the little
The
star.
pink lipstick.
Yeah, I always think it was cool.
The red lipstick.
And then last we got the Kiss overall band logo.
The Kiss logo, yeah.
Now I know part of this video is you might be asking me some trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this is not one of your questions, but I have some trivia for you.
It probably is.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask it then.
No, go ahead.
Who came up with the Kiss logo? Like who created this Kiss logo?
Okay, there's two people, and this is one of my trivias.
Okay.
So I know the answer. So actually, Ace Frehley came up with the logo.
Yes.
But Paul Stanley designed the logo.
Okay.
And he designed it, and you could tell it's official Kiss merch because the S's are slightly, they're not perfectly symmetric. So,
okay.
yeah, if you look at it, the S's are off slightly. If the S's are perfect, that means it's not official Kiss merch because when they got licensed or labeled or whatever, they asked Paul Stanley if they wanted to change it and make it more symmetric, and he said no, it makes it unique to us.
Yep.
So he never changed that. So
And, you know, and what does KISS stand for?
Knights in Satan's Service.
Which is not really true. That's not 100% true. But
it's
in the
not
80s, Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, she was big on the Christian movement to like too much Satanism and too much like evil in like rock music, and all about getting like the lyrics printed and explicit ratings on all the CDs and all that stuff.
Yep.
And they came up with these crazy acronyms for a lot of these bands that, I mean, to be honest, was pretty crazy that they came up with these acronyms. And real bands, there was other bands as well, like Slayer. But yeah, so that was always a joke that that's what KISS stands for, but it's not. It's just literally the word KISS.
Do you know what Gene Simmons, what he wanted to name the band?
Well, they were kind of like another band. Was it something Jester or Jesters something?
No, well, yeah, but what he was going to name Kiss.
No, I'm not. I probably heard it, but I forgot.
It's the F word. I'm not going to say it on the YouTube video.
Really?
That's what he wanted to call them.
Okay.
Well, could you imagine all his merchandise saying that?
No.
It might not have flowed pretty well.
No, I'm glad they kind of toned it down, went PG on the name, I guess.
He was all about that, though. He wanted to call it that.
Okay, well, glad whoever stepped in there did that. So yeah, so that's the clothing and Christmas stuff that we had to show.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the concert now.
Right. So the first part we want to talk about is they did the KISS experience in New York to kind of set up for this, right? So we said this was the end of the road tour, right? This is supposed to be the end of KISS as we know it. And we'll get to that. But as we know it, this is the end of KISS, right?
Yeah.
The final, they ended in New York. They grew up in New York. They met in New York, rehearsed in New York. All their photo shoots for like a lot of their early big albums are done in New York, which was part of some of the experience. You can go like to some of these photo shoots. I actually worked on one street in New York at one point that they did the photo shoot on. I never even realized that.
Yeah.
They did right in Chelsea, New York on 26th Street, and I worked on 26th Street. I never even knew that one of their photo shoots was there.
Yeah, they did a lot of album covers. Because obviously, like you said, they all lived in New York.
And I think it was actually their Dress to Kill, which is like one of the most famous ones where they're in suits, which is so cool. I think that was actually on the street that I worked on,
That's
which never even
covers.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the tour. It's like great because of the makeup and then these nice like suits.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's awesome. It's badass. So they did like an Empire State Building shoot. So you can go visit a couple of these shoots, but then they also did like promotions, cross promotions with like
a pizza place.
The Metro cards from the subway station by like Penn Station. You would get like a Kiss special one.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with David Bowie, I think, like when he died or maybe something like that. A few years ago.
They did the cabs. They wrapped them up.
Yep. Certain cabs of Kiss design. They were handing out like Kiss newspapers, Kiss stands.
Yeah.
Newspaper stands.
Which we tried to find, but there was nothing there except the person selling fake merch.
Yeah, and construction.
Of course, New York construction, which you saw in the video. A lot of construction.
I mean, it's New York, so it's literally always under construction.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Kiss was always like changing parts, and why Kiss was always under construction, because they were used to that in New York.
Yeah.
So, but the big thing was they had like a tattoo place where I think they did like complimentary makeup.
They do the Kiss of makeup. Yeah.
The day we went, it was pouring rain, so that would have been pointless to do.
Yeah.
But the big one we wanted to do was the pop-up store. So they did a pop-up store right in like Midtown.
Yeah, she sold a lot of their merch and like exclusive merch that you could only get at this pop-up location.
Right, not even going to be even in MSG which we're going to get to later, but wasn't even going to be in there. It was exclusive to this. Metallica did a similar thing when me and Turnpike sister Melissa and a couple others, friends, James and Chrissy, and Sean, went to the Metallica one, right, which was at MetLife. Or Met for Life, as they like to call Metallica. And right in American Dream Mall next door, they did a pop-up store. So similar thing, exclusive stuff. The problem was, this was smack in the middle of New York City. And it wasn't just concert people going to it. It was probably like all New Yorkers going to it, because obviously there's such a big band. And if people kind of got word that this was the end, people know they can buy stuff. And
resell
obviously
it.
this internet reselling is really big right now, right? So we weren't able to get in. Unfortunately, we would have stood in the pouring rain probably for a good 2 hours, and we overheard people saying that stuff was already sold out.
Yeah, it's a lot of different sizes.
Large size, which is standard size for most men, probably was gone. So we probably would have missed the concert if we decided to wait for this pop-up store.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we didn't get to go inside. We really wanted to take pictures and put it up in the video, but you did find a video online.
Yeah, there was a guy
who kind of did all the experience stuff.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Yeah,
which I'm assuming he could have done in one day. He must have been there like multiple days.
Yeah,
to kind of do this stuff.
He might have stayed in the city because they had it on like, I think they had like that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So like you could go for a couple days to the pop up.
And then the other stuff was like starting at the beginning of the week. Actually, some of the other experience stuff. So it was like all week long. So he must have did that. So if you really want to see, there is a YouTube video you can find the guy did the whole experience. But that was a little disappointing. We didn't get in the pop song. Especially for you with the big. You're the huge. I mean, we both love Kiss, but you're the huger Kiss fan. So I really wanted to get you in there. So it was disappointing.
It was. Yeah, I wasn't gonna wait 2 hours for it. So
in the pouring rain.
Yeah, it was rain. The weather was bad, and all that stuff.
Stuff was out, and we were there the first night of the concert. So imagine like the second night, which was Saturday. I know they'll put stuff aside sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they'll hold enough, but like they must have been nothing that second night for anybody that was trying to go. So that was a little disappointing. But we still had a fun time walking around, and we knew exclusive spots, which you saw in the prequel. We knew exclusive spots that they didn't put in the experience. Yeah,
they didn't have the official Kiss members getting kicked out of the band.
That's right.
Tour.
We did a lot of research to find that. That is those exact spots. Yeah, that exact Starbucks.
That's Starbucks and everything.
Yeah. I don't even know if Starbucks was around in that exact spot.
That was the first one.
But I'm pretty sure it was because we did a lot of research.
Yeah, that's how Starbucks became so big because of that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So if you saw the intro, you know what we're talking about. So we did our own experience.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And that's it for the clothing and Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, I think you might have a possible trivia question for me.
Let me shoot you a trivia question. All right. So
if anybody knows me, I love my trivia. So,
what was Paul's first makeup character? So they always have their different characters. He's the Star Man, Star Child.
I know his. I don't maybe know the character, but I know his first shape. I believe, which I learned from something else we're going to talk about later. He originally went with a circle, actually.
Okay.
But that might not be the exact answer to your question. But I know he did go with a circle until one of the other band members or somebody else told him, I think you should go with like a star. Look cooler. That's all I really know.
It was like a character.
Okay. I'm not sure then what the first character was.
It was the Bandit
The Bandit.
He was
You
the
know
Bandit.
what? I have heard that before. Now that you say it. Now, do you know the makeup that was associated with that, or is it just like he was just like, I have a character called a Bandit, and kind of maybe figure out the makeup later?
Yeah, I think he had makeup for it. I forget.
Maybe the
what it looked
circle
like.
was the Bandit.
It might have been part of it because
Yeah.
it was the first one he did.
Yes.
Because he changed he kept on like saying that he wasn't too sure what he wanted to do, and he couldn't make up his mind when the other guys pretty much had theirs pretty set.
Yep.
So
Maybe he might have went, because I know the circle
yeah,
was his original design.
One,
so
yeah.
maybe he was kind of thinking, he was probably just working on ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got this Bandit, but then I'm going to draw a circle around my eye. Obviously, I forget exactly. One of the other guys or somebody in the camping manager or something was like, hey, why don't you try Star? And I think then he looked at it and was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. And Starman, I guess, was kind of boring.
You know what though? I think we're missing something else here. There was some other Christmas thing I think we had.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
You know, let me.
Maybe it's behind here. Maybe in here.
Hey,
Oh.
like Christmas.
There it
Hey,
is.
it's Paul.
Hey,
he came to join us.
He came all the way here.
Oh, Turnpike Brothers are my favorite.
Paul-
Woo! Wow. Thanks, Paul. Like, he's
yeah.
serenading us. That's pretty
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. So, you know, how awesome has it been doing the band for this long, Paul? You know, I love girls. Well,
Monkey's even here. She loves Paul Stanley.
I love Monkey. So you got a special visit from Monkey there. But you said you like girls, but that's not really what I asked. So how many guys want to get licked? Okay, Paul. Well, thanks. Thanks for joining us, and we can't wait to see what Kiss from here on forth goes.
Yeah,
So,
see what they do. Are they going to all turn into nutcrackers or maybe something else?
yeah, it could be. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on. And it's kind of like a good segue, I feel like.
It is, yeah.
Like, Nutcracker could kind of be considered this, maybe.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to move on to toys is the next part. We're going to talk
yeah.
about toys, so we're going to segue from Nutcracker into toys.
Makes sense.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Toys.
Lots of toys.
Lots of Kiss toys. This is not even
collectibles.
Collectible, sorry, yeah. This is not even probably an eighth of how many toys they put their name on.
I had some awesome Todd McFarlane ones he made, and like they
that's
had like
right.
real hair and stuff. But like I guess through all the moves and stuff, I don't know if I got rid of them or something happened to them. But I had like every single one. They were really awesome.
I do remember those.
Yeah.
They're probably somewhere in the house, you just can't find them.
Who knows?
Well, you found enough.
Yeah.
So, starting at your side.
All right. So we're big pop collectors.
Used
my
to
wife
be.
and I. So we have a bunch of different pops. So these are your collectible Kiss pops. We got all the band members here. They made two different versions of these. They made these, and then there's like another one where they have like all their instruments and stuff like that.
A little more detailed, too.
A little bit more detailed. And they even have ones where it comes like a little fake record too. And it's like a full set. Those are pretty neat too.
Yeah. Which album do they do? Is it Destroyer?
I think it's Destroyer,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, but these guys are awesome. I always love the pops. They're always so much fun. It's just you get in the habit of collecting, and then you got like a million of them. But
And these were the original ones.
yeah, these are original ones. Yeah,
They're worth quite a bit, some of
Yeah.
the older Funkos. And I actually got you those for Christmas. That
You
was one of
did.
the first, I think, probably Christmas gifts I ever got you.
yeah.
Maybe we just kind of became friends not too long before that. And I got you the whole set, yeah. Which I felt bad about because one of your friends only got you one of
Yeah.
them, but I got you the whole set.
They actually all this Kiss stuff for the most part. I don't think I bought any of it. The shirts and stuff like that, I bought all that. But not the ornaments or anything like that. I think everything was like a gift or something from me. Every single thing here was a gift as well. So, like the next thing we'll talk about, the little rubber ducky was my first gift my wife actually gave me. She was a girlfriend at the time, so we figured out what they're officially called.
It's on the bottom. It's Celebriducks.
Celebriducks.
So I guess they make a bunch of different like celebrities.
The Demon.
Yeah,
And it's from the Kiss catalog. Okay.
yeah.
Even has a date on them, December 9th. So not the date we saw them in concert, but
Close enough.
yeah.
Do you go to the bath with him?
I used to have them in our bathroom for the longest time, but yeah, I take little bubble baths with them
Yeah.
sometimes.
I thought so. You have to.
Little Genie's got his tongue sticking out.
He's like, yeah, yeah. Okay. Now you got what's called the Little People.
Little People, yeah, they're like kind of like your Fisher Price looking characters. They have a bunch of different.
Yeah, they've been advertising like NFL ones on TV recently. I've been seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're like associated with like what used to be called the Hallmark store, now the paper stores, because I always saw them in there with these Little People things. I always saw them in like the Hallmark store and stuff. So
yeah, they got they're on like a little stage. They got a little stage set up there. And on the back it says, "I want to rock and roll night and party every day." So that's pretty cool.
My motto. Yeah.
Yeah. They got their little pictures on the side. So those are pretty neat.
A lot cuter than the actual real guys.
My wife got me those too, actually.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. Then over here you have a Lego knockoff. These are called K'NEX.
K'NEX.
K-N-E-X.
If you couldn't afford real Legos, you got K'NEX.
So they also have their little instruments.
Yeah.
So you can set up a whole little band. Little disappointed though, because they didn't give Paul Stanley his chest hair.
He's got a little bit, but not as much.
But not as much.
Maybe
yeah.
it's after the photo that you have on your shirt. You just ripped it all off.
He ripped it all off.
Yeah.
He was like self-waxing himself. Yeah. So
they got all their instruments though. Gene's got his
axe bass.
Bass,
that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah.
And he's got there's got to be Ace Frehley there.
Yeah, it is. I believe it is. It's just the spaceman, whoever kind of
that character
does that character. Yeah, at the time. And they've had a couple guys wear the space costume.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I do know that I did learn recently that Ace Frehley owns that actual like design.
Okay. Yeah, because he came
right. So I guess maybe Peter Criss too. So they do have to like pay him even when like they're giving it like to somebody else. He still like owns it. So that's pretty cool.
I mean the guys was it Tommy
Thayer.
He's been that character for like 20 years though.
He's actually probably been in the band longer than actually Ace Frehley was.
Yeah.
If you like combine all the when he was in and out.
So a lot of people are like, oh, he's not original. Yeah, he wasn't there like when the band was created.
Right.
But I mean, in all reality, he's been in the band for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been forever.
And he's quite a talented guitar player as well. But Ace Frehley's awesome.
Ace Frehley's great. Yeah. And then the last you got here is the Potato Heads.
Mr. Potato Heads.
Which is pretty awesome. Gene also has his axe space. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Paul, the Star Child, has his cool, like, misshapen guitar he always kind of has. Not like symmetrical guitar, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, Peter Criss has got his drumsticks and Space Ace with his cool guitar.
Pretty epic Potato Head collection there.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Do you know where this came from? A friend?
Yeah, I think my buddy Matt got me that actually.
Oh, Cowboy Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, toys are cool.
Yeah, these are pretty rocking stuff you got here. So
then that kind of leads into the leading up into the Kiss coming on stage part of the concert. They opened with, we went to the merch booth, kind of did our stuff there.
That's where we got all
your like 55 shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We took a picture with Kiss guys.
Yes.
Which you see in the intro video. You should have seen it.
Yeah.
That is actually Paul and Gene.
No. They came out to greet everybody.
Just us. They knew the Turnpike Brothers were there. So they were like, oh, I got to get a picture with the Turnpike Brothers.
Yeah.
At first we didn't know if we had time for them, but we fit it in.
Yeah, we got them in there.
No, but it's really, like, the Paul Stanley impersonator, it looked all right. The Gene one looked literally like
He was
Gene.
on point.
Like, I had to do a double take. Like,
yeah.
that was like Gene.
Yeah.
Like, he nailed, like, the tongue, the look.
Yeah.
Like, his mannerisms, just like the little things. And he looked exactly like him. That was great.
He was spot on. Good impersonator.
So after we did that, we heard some talking on stage that to me sounded very similar to Paul Stanley. I was like, wait, is Paul Stanley on stage like talking already? What the heck's going on? Well, it was his son, which I'm not sure actually. Do you know his first name? I don't. We should have done our research. Oh well.
I know the name of the band.
Yeah, the band is Amber Wild, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what were your thoughts on Amber Wild? Now you listened to them a little bit right before because you kind of found out they were the opening.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who was the opening act. So it was Amber Wild. I'm like, who's this? I looked him up, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Paul Stanley's son. And yeah, let's see a couple of their songs. They got some good stuff. They don't have a whole big catalog because they just kind of started out. But yeah, he very good. Like you said, he sounds a lot like Paul Stanley, but
not like singing wise per se.
yeah, his voice.
Like when he talked, he sounded like Paul Stanley. He kind of did like the whole like kind of like high pitched like hey guys,
like his stage voice.
Yeah.
No, it was awesome. They had a great show, and for an opening act, like who you get to open for Kiss? I mean,
right.
The first time I saw Kiss, they opened up for Aerosmith. So it's like, how is Kiss an opening act? And of course, they blew Aerosmith out of the water. So it's like, how could you even do that? I don't know whose idea that was, but that was awful.
Yeah, I mean they're both completely different acts. I mean, the Kiss is so about pumping you up with the fireworks and all that stuff, and then like Aerosmith doesn't really do all that flashy stuff. They're kind of more subdued. They kind of like, it's just like kind of Steven Tyler running around stage dancing around, which is cool, but it's definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they were doing like a weird era of music there where they were doing their Honkin' on Bobo, which was like a lot of like blues covers and stuff like that. Just odd. That was an odd pairing.
Yeah, let's have Kiss open it up for us while we do a blues album.
Yeah. That was an odd choice. So he goes with his son, you know. Like you said, it's kind of like a thankless job to open for Kiss. Like, you could be a good band, and a lot of Kiss fans might have been like, ugh, we just want to see Kiss. But I thought they did a great job. Power trio, only 3 of them in the band.
I love a 3-man band.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So.
You really have to be good musicians to do that, too.
Absolutely,
if you're good, it means you're good musicians, right? So that was pretty awesome. And, I did not expect much. And they did a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, so look them up. They're a very cool band.
They just came out on Spotify, I think they said.
Yeah, they have a couple songs on there, and they were awesome. I really did like them, and I definitely need to take some time and listen to some of their stuff. So. And
we did find out that they were going to be playing at the Electric Ballery Ballroom about 50 times.
Yeah, he said that probably like 80 times. But
he really wanted us to come visit him.
He's got to start off. He doesn't have all the merch yet.
No, that's right.
So he's just got to get his name out through word. That's how these guys start.
Yeah, he did. And
well, what a way to open up for like one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah, and not many. I think they were saying like this was some of their first shows too.
That's crazy.
Like however many shows they've been with. I don't know if they've been with Kiss the entire time.
Yeah,
it didn't sound like it. Like, but based on what he was saying, maybe just kind of more locally in the States. But it seems like this is pretty much like one of the first, and like to really like do some of your first shows at MSG, which is like one of the most well-known like arenas in the world.
That's unbelievable.
He even says that like this is kind of crazy, like that, you know. It took like his dad years to get to MSG. You know, they had to build up like a normal band.
Yeah.
And here he is kind of like getting a chance to start out.
He was like thanking his dad. He was like, and stuff like
he was like, I mean, he said like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad.
Yeah, like they're good, but they're not selling out MSG good.
They have to build up. They have to build up their repertoire first. Yeah. I think so. But he was good.
Yeah, he was good.
So they played, probably like a 45-minute standard opening set. And then we got the cool Kiss Army banner came down.
The banner, yeah.
They blew up these 2 like supposed to look like kind of like statues of like Paul and Gene in the corners.
Yeah, like one of those big inflatable things like the snowman you see, but like it's Kiss and it's ginormous. Yeah, huge.
This thing had to be like 30 feet tall,
yeah,
at least.
And they had these cool, they kind of looked like, almost kind of like drum kits and stuff. They would go up these lights and they would have different things of the members of the band doing stuff, and they would spin these lights around. And they even had platforms that would go up and down that they actually went up to in the beginning of the concert.
Which I was like, I know they're coming down on those platforms or whatever. Yeah,
they did a lot of cool stuff. They had a piano at some point come out from underneath the stage too, and they were playing a song on that, which was awesome.
And then they did have a star like set up back in the back of like the general.
If the stage was here, like all the way, like kind of like in the middle where the crowd was, they had a big star.
Yeah, so we knew kind of something probably was going to happen with that.
Yeah,
either like it was going to light up or shoot fireworks or something would end up on it or something like that. So we knew that. And that was kind of like the setup, and we knew we were in for a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, and they came out rocking. But we'll get more into that.
Yeah.
The actual concert. But that was the setup. So good opening act. Son did a good job. So that's cool. All right. So our next category,
let's roll on to the
which is this is another good transition, talking about the albums.
Yeah.
We're going to like media. So media,
correct,
we got books, comics,
Comics, books, records, and
even video games,
movies, and
movies.
video games. Yeah.
So they're media. We're going Kiss media here.
Kiss media.
All right, let's get it going. All right, so here we are with the media.
Oh yeah.
We got a lot here. We're only limiting it to some. This is not everything we have, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. So.
You have every single Kiss record, so
every single one ever.
So we're only limiting to some of them. But what we got here, we got Rock and Roll All Over, which is a great record. So that's we got Hard Luck Woman, which is a great song. I love that. Calling Dr. Love, Ladies Room. Those are great songs. I think this was like late 70s, this one.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like they kind of like touched back on this a little bit with the Sonic Boom cover. Like I always felt like the Sonic Boom cover was kind of similar.
Yeah, it's very
in
similar.
aesthetic to this one. So you got that. You actually have the album that really exploded them. So they were kind of struggling. I was actually just reading this in something we're going to show later. They were actually struggling with their early albums. They really weren't selling. They weren't getting a big name. People probably weren't taking them serious with the makeup and all that stuff because that was pretty new for back then. And then they came out with Kiss Alive. And Kiss Alive like exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss I was reading. Which is, it's all live tracks. So if you don't know what Kiss Alive is, they released like concert albums. I'm generally never a huge concert album person because they never like recorded well, especially back then with the technology they had. But like Kiss, somehow they did it great. Because I have Kiss Alive 2 because it was so successful. They did the second one.
Of course.
And just an amazing album. Awesome.
Yeah.
They really do a great job of recording the live music, and this was just what exploded them.
Yeah, and if you ever hear I Want to Rock and Roll All Night,
right.
all the versions you're hearing are live versions of the song.
Yes.
Their studio version of it actually does not sound that great. They add all these like weird instrumental things to it. So anytime you hear it, it's probably going to be the live version of it because it's so awesome.
Yeah, it was not successful, the studio version.
Yeah.
And then the live version came out, and people were like, wow, this song's like actually really awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. They kind of like heavied it up, made it a little heavier in concert and everything like that. And then this was their... Now, there's two things going on with this record. One has to do with the Turnpike Brothers, and one has to do with Kiss.
Yeah.
We've mentioned this before. If you've listened, if you're an avid fan, you'll know the Sailors Have More Fun bumper sticker.
Episode 4, we talked about our fourth favorite albums, and this was one of mine.
And this is their first platinum-selling album, I also read. So Destroyer is their real... With Kiss Alive, is their real album that exploded them into the stratosphere as well. Because that's their first platinum-selling record, and then they went to do a lot more.
Yep, and Sailors
do have more fun. According to this record. So on this, you have like Detroit Rock City, which is the song that pretty much after this is what they opened with like almost every concert.
Yeah.
King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Shout It Out Loud, which is another actually like the concert. It's another song where the concert version is like a little bit better than the studio version. Actually, it's kind of like Rock and Roll All Night. It's a great concert song by them. Another like one where the crowd really joins in and everything like that. Beth, sung by the Catman, Peter Criss.
Yeah,
they're a great ballad. And then Do You Love Me, which they usually do in concert. That kind of became a big song for them. So a lot of big hits and a lot of songs they do today off this record.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Really big one. And I mentioned before when I started my record collection. As an adult, I decided to kind of get back into the records as vinyl was getting bigger and all that. And this was my first one because you and Turnpike's sister Elena got it for me for Christmas. This was my first one to start the collection.
Great one to start it off with.
I had a couple hand-me-downs from my brother who gave me some, but this was like the first one that really started the collection. So great album to start. So obviously Kiss stretched beyond just the music and the records, right? Now they have so many other records. The 4 solo albums we mentioned.
Yeah, this is a CD of one that I have. It's the greatest hits album. It's actually awesome. So if you're like not a huge Kiss fan or like some of their music, I always recommend people getting this one. It's actually called the Very Best of Kiss, and they do count as one of their records in their discography. I only have it on CD though.
I don't even know if they make a vinyl of that one.
Yeah, and I do have my original concert ticket when first time I saw Kiss back in. What we have on here?
2001, maybe?
Let's say 2003.
3.
I saw them, and they, like I said, they opened for Aerosmith and saw them in Camden. And I've always like kind of liked them here and there, but wasn't like a huge fan. And I saw them at this concert, and this concert, I fell in love with them. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. They have put on such an awesome show. It was so cool. So that concert is the reason why I love Kiss so much. So
There we go. Awesome.
yeah.
So they stretched out of music into other medium. Obviously, they're perfect with all the makeup and the character for other media. So they did movies, right?
Yes.
One of the big famous ones. We don't have it on display here, but it's Kiss Attack of the Phantom.
That was one of my trivia questions for you. What was the name of that 1978 TV movie?
Yeah, it's right. So it's Kiss and it's Kiss Attack of the Phantom, right? Isn't that it?
You're close.
Or the Phantom Park? I forget now exactly what it's called.
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
That's right, Phantom of the Park. That's
which
right.
I have on lovely bootleg DVD.
Well, don't tell them that.
I mean,
This is
lovely
official. Yeah.
TV movie DVD that they made legally.
Yeah. And the acting in that is superb.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
There's a lot of funny behind the scenes stuff about this. Peter Criss, the Catman, apparently he was like so fed up with filming this that they went to go back to do some dubbing, and he didn't even want to like do too much with it, so they decided to overdub his voice and with someone else doing his voice. So Peter Criss doesn't have a single line in this movie.
Really? Okay.
Because it's all been dubbed over. And
I didn't know that.
I guess at some point they asked all of them like what were some of the things they like to say, like slang words and stuff like that. And someone told them that Ace Frehley liked to say "ack." I think it was Gene or something. So there's a lot of scenes where he says that, and he's like, I don't know why they would say that. I've never said that in my life. So there's a lot of funny behind the scenes stuff. Paul took it very seriously. Like he thought he was seriously making a good movie. And the rest of them were kind of just like, this is kind of goofy and fun. We're having a good time with it. Although Peter Criss hated working on it. So a little inside there with that.
You taught me some stuff there. I didn't know all that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's pretty funny.
You're the big Kiss fan, so you should But obviously, that's their big famous one.
Yeah, and then
Notorious, but then they stretched it to other things.
Yeah, they did Detroit Rock City, which is an awesome movie. Definitely recommend checking that out. Even if you're not a huge Kiss fan, it's just a fun movie. Kind of reminds me of like, well, it was made in the 90s, kind of like one of those like buddy films where they're trying to go to see Kiss live in concert, and they actually do make an appearance in the movie for a little bit. Their music's throughout it. Hilarious movie. A lot of good actors when they were starting out in that. And then we got Kiss Ultimate Crossover, Kiss meets Scooby-Doo.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool. You got a lot. All their voices are in it. They all voice all the actors.
I like the back. You got Gene licking Scooby-Doo.
Gene licking Scooby-Doo on there.
Yeah.
You got Scooby-Doo with the Kiss makeup on. This is a lot of fun. It's so funny. There's some cool trippy videos they do, because there's a lot of sing. They do a lot of their videos and stuff in it, and they do a lot. It looks like something straight out of the 70s experimental
That's awesome.
phase, as you could say, with Scooby-Doo characters, which is pretty awesome.
Now we saw something the other day too. You shared to me from YouTube with a Mad TV appearance. They did make a Mad TV appearance.
Yes,
and that's pretty hilarious. Just look up. I don't want to spoil it, but look up Kiss Mad TV appearance.
Yeah,
and you'll see it, and it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Actually, I think it's titled Kiss versus Michael Jackson.
Yes, that's it.
So look up Kiss versus Michael Jackson.
It's epic.
I know it sounds, but it's pretty awesome. All the original members too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, of course, if they're going to be in movies, you got to have books.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have books, right? So they have pretty interesting stories. I mean, Gene literally came from Israel. Mm-hmm. His mom was in the Holocaust, so they came over here and kind of was like, that's why Gene loves America. It was like freedom for them and like a new life and all that. So they all have interesting lives. They were cab drivers. Paul Stanley was a cab driver. He tells this funny story at the concert where he was driving a guy to MSG, and he says, "Yeah, one day I'm gonna play that place." He was taking him to an Elvis concert. Yes, that's right. So that's funny. So they all have like an interesting backstory. So of course Dan has here the Kiss behind the mask,
which is this is one of the photos they took in that's an Empire State Building.
Yes, this is the Empire State Building. You're right. That's exactly right. And I always funny how they always call it mask, which is I guess why I called it mask. But they're really it's really like makeup or face paint.
Yeah,
they call it masks. the official authorized biography.
It's official.
Yeah, we're not getting any unauthorized biographies here.
No.
So the official authorized biography, which apparently Dan bought at a bargain price.
The bargain. What
That's
a steal.
that's a travesty. That's in the bargain.
Gene Simmons could appreciate a good bargain.
That's true. He can. But he would want you to pay the full price, being a big fan. So. Then, of course, why don't you explain what we have over here, Dan?
Okay, so
Something we did together.
Kevin and I were very lucky enough to meet Paul Stanley. He did a book signing in this local bookstore at the time when I was living in North Jersey called Ridgewood. And actually, we got him to sign it. We got a picture with him. We got to talk to him for a little bit. He was a really cool dude.
Yep.
We got the autograph in there. Pretty epic. So we actually got to physically meet Paul Stanley. So that was awesome. We got cool photos with him, which we'll show at the end of the video, actually.
Yep. And the bookstore, they've done the other guys too, right? Like Gene was there at one point, right?
Yeah, I think every single one of these guys have written a book in some fashion. Like, I'm pretty sure they got people helping with it. But yeah, they all kind of look like that same kind of cover. So they must have struck some kind of deal with the publishing company. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Kind of like the solo records. They all have it's all the same uniform. It's just their face. Like so they kind of have a similar thing.
Yeah, life exposed.
Yeah, so it's all about Paul Stanley's life. Some interesting stuff about him that I didn't realize.
Yeah, he's apparently got
kind of like
his ear is messed up,
like deformed a little bit.
That's why he always wears his hair.
Yeah, he was very self-conscious about it. Kind of got made fun of as a kid, unfortunately.
He's bullied a lot. Yeah.
You know, kids always pick up like the weakest part of people to attack, unfortunately. So he got very self-conscious about it. But I guess he had the last laugh because he became an awesome rock star.
Yeah.
But that's why he wears like the long wigs and stuff like that to kind of cover that. So even to this day, he's still, I guess, a little self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop him from rocking. So.
Yeah.
And then for Christmas this year, I just got, I don't know if it's like, but like, I'm going to say like Life magazine, but like Life or whoever it is, or Time, they do like these like collections a lot of times, usually when people like retire or if it's like anniversaries. But they did like an ultimate Kiss guide one. So 50 years of hits, because they came out in 73, really, basically. And this will be 2023, 50 years. They usually do these collections for them. Just kind of match the end of the year tour, end of the year, which is pretty awesome too for them. End of the road, I mean. This talks about the whole history of the band. It's got some really cool stuff in here. It's got like a quiz at the end.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's how I learned some of this trivia. That's how I learned that he did a circle first instead of a star. And I have a trivia question for you.
Oh, okay.
How much do you think Gene has his tongue insured for?
Oh my goodness.
He insured his tongue because it's so famous. It's a pretty standard number. Take a guess of how much you think he insured his tongue for.
The money he had to put out for it?
No, like how much it's insured for.
Oh, $1 million.
Yep, exactly. It's $1 million.
Okay.
It's insured for. So if anything happens to his tongue, he gets $1 million.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's how important it was to him. So I learned about that in this book. But you got the 4 original members, which I love that too. You know, because obviously the makeup, it's the characters, but I loved seeing the original guys. I am one of those fans that like, you know, I was a little upset that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the other two, they wouldn't let the other 2 guys play with them. So they ended up not playing at all when they kind of got inducted because Gene and Paul really want Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer, who are the current guys, because, you know, they're the current guys. They think they're part of the band. Ace and Peter said, well, we really want to be the guys that play with you since it's like we started the band. Big issue. So unfortunately, they never got to play at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, what they usually do with these bands when they get inducted. But I like seeing the original guys. I am an original guy person. So that's cool. I have that on the cover. That's and awesome. Then, you would think that's it, right? I mean, that's got to be it. Movies, records, of course, music, comic books, right? Books. Well, we got some comics. Yeah,
we got comic books.
What do we got here, Dan?
All right, so Kiss, I believe in the 70s, they came out with, they teamed up with Marvel, and they did a exclusive issue. And with that issue, 40-page, all-color issue, they actually use some of their own blood to create the some of the red ink in the comic.
Now, that's actually true, too, right? Because...
Yep. Yeah, they showed
some people are like, that's a myth, but that's actually true that they did put their real blood.
Yeah, they got pictures of them going to the hospital, well, not the hospital or something, to get their blood, because, you know, they can't just do it without having someone professional around. So what this is, what I have is actually a reissue. It's not the original. It would be awesome to have that, but probably very expensive.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because it talks a little bit about the history of them doing that, and it also has this. I think they meet Doctor Doom in their comic too, so they do have some Marvel crossovers in there. Shang Tsung and a bunch of other people they come across. But this is pretty cool. This little collection, because like I said, realistically, you're probably not going to find one of the originals. Even though we get to Kiss Monster Mini Golf, and they have one of the originals there. So
that's right. Yeah, in the museum part, right?
Yeah, only a select few obviously would have the blood ink in it. So
right, because you can only drain so much blood out of a person so they're still be alive.
He's not still going there and doing it. So then we have a bunch of Kiss comics, so I'll just go through them pretty quickly. But we have Kiss and the Elder, which
very underrated album in my opinion, by the way.
Honorary Turnpike brother Bob actually got me this at Comic Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yep, he got me this one, so that's pretty cool. It's like they have like volumes of these, so there's like a bunch of little comics all in one volume. So A World Without Song.
Now, the Elder was their concept album where they like tried to tell a story. Do you know? Does it have to do with the story of that album? Do you know?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I read through it, but I don't really remember the story of the concept album.
It's like a kid is like a kid's got like powers.
Yes.
And he like meets like he has to like go to like the Elder to like I forget exactly.
Yeah. So in that comic, that's pretty much what happens. He like there's like kids that they can like they transform into like the Kiss characters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess so. That's very very similar to that. So next we have this one here. It's pretty much just got all of them on it, and they're all doing these like really funny poses and stuff like that. So that's what do they call this one? I think it's just a Kiss comic.
It's Dark Horse Comics.
Dark Horse Comics.
Okay.
So Marvel didn't have part in this one. They had a bunch of different people working on these. And then there's this one, it's pretty epic. I got on the back side of it.
World Without Heroes.
World Without Heroes.
One of my favorite songs by Kiss.
Awesome song.
Yeah.
This is part one.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, of course. IDW.
IDW,
this one. Okay.
yeah.
I think they might be the current ones that do their current comics now.
You wanted the best, you got the best. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's two different comics there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then we got this one here. They must have done a series of these. So
that was Dress to Kill.
Kevin was talking about Dress to Kill.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the album looked like. This is part one as well. So I guess this is part two and that's part one. So this is part of the same series here.
That's awesome.
I guess I got these mixed up because this is part two. On the reverse side, you got part two of this one here. So part one and part two. So we got that another comic, and then we have another crossover. We had Scooby Doo, right?
Yep.
So another classic crossover.
Yeah,
we have
right.
Archie.
That's right.
Kiss meets Archie, which I believe this is the first issue of that as well.
So it's like the Archie characters dressed up as
Kiss guys rocking out. Kiss is making an appearance also in this comic.
Of course, they have
so
to.
that's pretty awesome as well.
And that's got to be it, right?
No,
I mean, how much more could they do?
There's always more.
I mean, what other type of media is there? I mean, you got the books, you got the comic books, you got
movies. Movies.
I didn't bring it, but another thing I did want to honorable mention. They did this thing called Kissology series. I think it's actually 4 volumes total, but it's like DVD sets, and it has like concert clips and like
that's pretty awesome.
behind the scenes stuff, and it's pretty cool. You can see some really cool like live concert performances. But that's got to be it, right? Well, I do see something else here. There's one more medium they had to get into.
Oh,
video games.
The video games.
Video games.
Some of our favorite things.
Kiss video games. I mean, come on. We love video games here at Turnpike Brothers.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about this, right? So these are yours.
Yeah.
You got Kiss Pinball on the PlayStation 1.
The Kiss pinball game. Yeah, so they have a bit different tables and obviously just pinball. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's got their music in it. It's awesome.
We got the Skull
Oh, yeah, Statue
of Liberty.
Skull.
That was on. It's hard. You're hard to see, but that was on my end of the road sweatshirt. Was that skull with the Statue of Liberty crown? So that's a theme they've been doing for a while. And then this is one of your personal favorites, one of your favorite albums. And then they made Psycho Circus on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And this is like a first-person shooter, right?
It's a first-person shooter, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Still wrapped.
You get to play as some of the characters. I have two of them. So this is
The
my
Nightmare
wrap one.
Child, it's called.
Yeah.
Psycho Circus: The Nightmare Child.
Dreamcast. It's a fun game. Nothing
Based on characters from
spectacular,
Todd McFarlane's best-selling Kiss Psycho Circus comic book series. So even Todd McFarlane did Kiss comics.
but everyone had a hand in Kiss. Yeah.
Play as the 4 powerful Kiss Elders and explore 4 hellish realms. Unleash furious damage on 23 twisted creatures with 12 unique weapons. So that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And that's it for Medium. I mean, there's plenty other more books and and comic books, and the comic books are still going. I see them still new ones come out to this day. But that's a little snippet of what we know.